There is a bus ticket that takes you all the way from New York to Los Angeles. One ride, 3,000 miles. It takes days, and most people say they wouldn't wish this trip on their worst enemy, citing delays, lost luggage, no sleep, and dangerous interactions. I looked at the route and it looks beautiful. If the reviews are true, this is a terrible idea.
This video documents one of the most extreme travel experiences possible, taking the longest bus ride across America from New York City to Los Angeles. The trip covers more than 3,000 miles and lasts several exhausting days. Online reviews describe the ride as miserable, with people complaining about delays, uncomfortable seats, no sleep, and stressful situations. Instead of avoiding it, the traveler decides to experience the journey himself and record everything that happens along the way. The adventure begins in New York City. After boarding the bus, he immediately notices how quiet and awkward the atmosphere feels. Nobody is talking, and everyone already looks tired. Even so, he remains excited because he has a strange personal mission for the trip. Before leaving New York, he filled a small cup with water from the Atlantic Ocean. His goal is to carry the water safely across America and pour it into the Pacific Ocean once he reaches California. He calls the challenge the Oceanic Exchange, and he names the cup Chuck. At first it seems like a joke, but throughout the trip, the cup becomes surprisingly important. The first part of the journey heads toward St. Louis, Missouri, a ride expected to take around 22 hours. The traveler shows viewers his basic seat, the cramped bathroom, and the uncomfortable conditions on board. Even simple things like sleeping or using the bathroom become difficult, because the bus constantly shakes while moving. As the bus travels through Pennsylvania, snowy landscapes appear outside the windows. The scenery looks beautiful, and for a while the journey actually feels exciting. During rest stops, the traveler grabs snacks, coffee, and stretches his legs before getting back on the bus. However, things soon start going wrong. When the bus reaches Pittsburgh, mechanical problems force everyone to wait for hours at the station. Eventually, passengers are transferred onto another bus late at night. During this stressful situation, the traveler meets another passenger named Mike. Mike quickly becomes one of the best parts of the journey. The two begin talking, and when the traveler explains his mission of bringing Atlantic Ocean water to California, Mike fully supports the idea. He even jokes that he would protect the cup with his life. Their random friendship adds warmth and humor to an otherwise exhausting trip. The traveler then tries to sleep overnight because he must wake up early for an important bus transfer in St. Louis. Unfortunately, the problems continue. The replacement bus experiences more delays, multiple stops, and eventually, even a flat tire. Passengers become frustrated and worried about missing their next buses. By morning, the bus is running several hours behind schedule. When they finally arrive in St. Louis, almost everyone has already missed their connections. The traveler learns that his original route has been canceled, forcing him to take a completely different path through Denver and Las Vegas, before finally reaching Los Angeles. At this point, Mike decides to give up on the journey and return home. Their goodbye becomes surprisingly emotional because the two strangers had formed a genuine friendship during the difficult trip. Mike encourages him to continue and complete the mission. Before boarding the next bus, the traveler checks into a nearby hotel for a short break. After days of discomfort, simple things like a hot shower, coffee, Wi-Fi, and rest feel amazing. The second part of the journey begins with a long ride toward Denver. Although the traveler upgrades to a comfort seat, it barely feels different from the previous one. The bus continues through endless highways and freezing nighttime conditions. After another sleepless night, the traveler arrives in Denver. But this stop brings one of the saddest moments of the trip. During the night, Chuck the Cup falls from the cup holder and spills most of the Atlantic Ocean water onto the bus floor. After protecting it for thousands of miles, only a tiny amount remains. Even so, the traveler refuses to give up on the mission. As the trip continues, exhaustion slowly takes over. Days begin blending together, sleep becomes difficult, and loneliness starts setting in. Despite everything, the traveler keeps moving forward because he wants to reach the Pacific Ocean and finish what he started. Overall, this video becomes much more than a simple travel vlog. It turns into a story about endurance, friendship, patience, and adventure. The traveler experiences delays, broken buses, flat tires, sleepless nights, and uncertainty, but he also discovers beautiful landscapes and unexpected human connections along the way. What begins as a terrible travel idea eventually becomes an unforgettable journey across America.
Well, the oceanic exchange is complete. It took a few long days of waiting, but I finally got my photos back. This bus right here took me on quite the adventure. Some photos turned out better than others, that's for sure. I also sent Emily a care package for her future adventure on Route 66. I gave her a photo album of these photos as well, but I think my favorite picture of all is this one, because as the saying goes, it is not about the destination, it is truly about the journey and the people on it with you. Shout out to all the Joyride runners representing their state. If you want to be at the end of the next video, be sure to tag me just like these guys. And YouTube thinks you will love the video on screen. They think you're just going to have so much fun watching it. You should click it. Be kind to people. You never know what they're going through. Love you. Bye.